The red carpets, the flashing cameras, and the adoring fans all contribute to an illusion of invincibility. But what happens when the curtains fall, the lights dim, and the stars are left alone to confront their own human vulnerabilities? For some, this solitude becomes fertile ground for self-destructive behaviors, particularly alcoholism. Tragically, for a few, alcohol transforms from a coping mechanism into both a confidant and a deadly force, leading them down an irreversible path. These are the stories of Hollywood actors who ultimately drank themselves to death. Veronica Lake, born Constance Frances Marie Aukelman in 1922, epitomized Hollywood glamour in the 1940s. Her iconic peekaboo hairstyle and sultry looks catapulted her to fame, especially after her breakthrough role in the 1941 film Sullivan's Travels. However, her meteoric rise to stardom was soon overshadowed by a rapid descent into alcoholism. By the late 1940s, Lake's career began to decline. Her erratic behavior on set, exacerbated by her increasing alcohol consumption, made her difficult to work with. In 1952, her contract with Paramount Pictures was not renewed. To make ends meet, she performed in a small nightclub in New York. Her struggle with alcohol also took a toll on her personal life, leading to the collapse of her marriages. She was married and divorced 4 times. Tragically, in 1973, Lake died at the age of 50 from acute hepatitis and acute kidney injury, conditions worsened by years of alcohol abuse. She was found in her Burlington, Vermont apartment, marking a somber end to a life that had once held immense promise. Judy Garland, born Frances Ethel Gum on June 10, 1922 in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, captured the hearts of audiences worldwide as the innocent Dorothy in the 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz. Her enchanting voice and undeniable presence made her a beloved star. However, behind the scenes, Garland faced immense pressures from studio executives who tightly controlled her diet, appearance, and even her sleep patterns, often providing her with pills to manage her energy levels. This reliance on medication eventually spiraled into dependency, and alcohol became another coping mechanism for her increasingly stressful life. Garland's career saw both triumphs and setbacks. While she was celebrated for her performances in films like A Star is Born, 1954, her erratic behavior and frequent illnesses, often linked to her alcoholism, caused professional disruptions. Her personal life was equally tumultuous. She was married 5 times, with each relationship marred by difficulties stemming from her substance abuse. On June 22, 1969, Garland was found dead in her London apartment from an accidental overdose of barbiturates. However, her years of alcohol abuse had already taken a significant toll on her health. She was just 47 years old when she passed away, leaving behind a legacy of brilliance tinged with tragedy. Billie Holiday, born Eleanor Fagan in 1915, was one of the most influential jazz singers in history. Her deeply emotive voice, innovative techniques, and raw honesty in her music made her an enduring icon. However, her life was anything but easy. Holiday endured racial discrimination, abusive relationships, and a long battle with substance abuse. Holiday earned 4 Grammy Awards, all posthumously, including the prestigious Best Historical Album Award. She was honored in the Grammy Hall of Fame and the R&B Hall of Fame. In 2000, Holiday was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the note, "Billie Holiday changed jazz forever." She was celebrated among NPR's 50 Greatest Voices and ranked 4th in Rolling Stone's 2003 list of the 500 Greatest Singers of All Time. Holiday has also been the subject of numerous films and documentaries, the most recent being The United States vs. Billie Holiday, 2021. Her career soared in the 1930s, earning her widespread acclaim, but her personal life was overshadowed by a series of hardships, including multiple arrests for drug possession. Alcohol became her constant companion, a way to escape the pain of her turbulent life. By the late 1950s, her health had severely declined, primarily due to cirrhosis of the liver caused by her alcoholism. On July 17, 1959, Billie Holiday passed away in a New York City hospital. She was just 44 years old. The very substances she relied on to numb her pain ultimately cut her life and career tragically short. Carole Lombard, born Jane Alice Peters, on October 6, 1908 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, hailed as the Queen of Screwball Comedy, was celebrated for her unforgettable roles in films like My Man Godfrey, 1936, and Nothing Sacred, 1937. By the late 1930s, she was one of Hollywood's highest-paid stars. Her marriage to Clark Gable in 1939 appeared to be a perfect fairy tale. But behind the charm and glamour was a woman struggling with personal challenges, including a growing reliance on alcohol. Initially, Lombard's drinking was a social habit common within the Hollywood elite. However, it escalated under the immense pressure to sustain her career and maintain a flawless public image. These pressures were compounded during World War II, as she threw herself into the war effort with remarkable vigor, even participating in a demanding war bond tour. It was during this tour that tragedy struck. On January 16, 1942, the plane carrying Lombard and 21 others crashed into a mountain near Las Vegas, claiming the lives of everyone on board. She was just 33 years old. The official investigation attributed the crash to pilot error, but speculation arose about her condition during the flight. Some witnesses alleged that she had been drinking before boarding, raising questions about whether alcohol played any role in the disaster. While these claims were never substantiated, what remains undeniable is the profound loss her death represented for Hollywood and her fans worldwide. Lombard's legacy endures not only through her iconic film roles, but also through her vivacious spirit and her dedication to the war effort. Her life serves as a poignant reminder that even those who seem to embody success and joy can face unseen struggles. Her untimely death underscores the hidden battles many face, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire and caution. Jean Harlow, born Harlean Harlow Carpenter on March 3, 1911 in Kansas City, Missouri, famously known as the Blonde Bombshell, took Hollywood by storm in the early 1930s with her striking platinum blonde hair and captivating on-screen presence. Films like Hell's Angels, 1930, and Red Dust, 1932, propelled her to fame, making her one of the most sought-after actresses of her era. However, beneath her glamorous exterior was a woman grappling with the immense pressures of stardom and an increasing reliance on alcohol. The film studios heavily marketed her as a sex symbol, a role that chipped away at her self-esteem. To cope with the demands and objectification she faced, Harlow turned to alcohol, a choice that would ultimately prove devastating. Her drinking soon began to interfere with her career. She frequently arrived late to sets, and her performances suffered as a result. Alarmed studio executives attempted interventions, but their efforts failed to curb her destructive behavior. Harlow's health began to decline rapidly. In early 1937, she was diagnosed with acute nephritis, a severe kidney condition. Despite the diagnosis, she continued to drink, worsening her already fragile state. On June 7, 1937, she passed away from complications related to her illness at just 26 years old. The shocking news of her death sent ripples through Hollywood and devastated her fans worldwide. Jean Harlow's life, though brief, remains a cautionary tale of the destructive power of alcohol, especially when paired with the relentless pressures of fame. Her story is a somber reminder of the darker realities that can exist behind the dazzling lights of Hollywood. Barbara Payton's rise and fall is one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking cautionary tales. Barbara Payton, born on November 16, 1927, in Cloquet, Minnesota, was a promising American actress whose career and life were marked by both early success and tragic decline. In the early 1950s, she was a promising actress known for her role alongside James Cagney in Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, 1950. Her stunning beauty and undeniable talent seemed to foreshadow a long and successful career. However, a series of disastrous personal and professional choices led to her tragic downfall. Peyton's personal life was turbulent, marked by 4 failed marriages, struggles with substance abuse, and legal troubles. Peyton's troubles began with a highly publicized love triangle involving actors Franchot Tone and Tom Neal. The scandal dominated tabloid headlines, severely damaging her reputation and credibility within the film industry. As roles became scarce, she turned to alcohol to cope with her crumbling career and chaotic personal life. Her dependency on alcohol escalated rapidly, resulting in arrests and public controversies that only worsened her already tarnished image. By the late 1950s, Peyton's career was effectively over. Stripped of Hollywood's glamour, she found herself working low-paying jobs, including stints as a waitress and cashier. The promise of her early years seemed like a distant memory. In 1967, at just 39 years old, Peyton was found dead in her San Diego apartment. The cause of death was acute alcohol poisoning, a tragic culmination of years of substance abuse. By this time, she was nearly unrecognizable as the luminous starlet who had once graced the silver screen. Peyton's life is a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and the devastating toll of addiction. Her story underscores the darker side of Hollywood, where the pursuit of stardom often leaves lasting scars. It serves as a somber cautionary tale, revealing how quickly the bright lights of fame can fade into shadows. Chris Farley, the larger-than-life comedian, captivated audiences with his physical comedy and infectious energy when he joined Saturday Night Live in the early 1990s. Instantly becoming a fan favorite, his transition to film was seamless, with hits like Tommy Boy, 1995, and Black Sheep, 1996, solidifying his status as a comedic star. However, behind the scenes, Farley was battling severe addiction issues, including alcoholism and drug abuse. The pressures of rapid fame weighed heavily on Farley. Each new project brought heightened expectations, and he turned to substances as a way to cope. His weight ballooned and his health declined, but the partying never stopped. Despite multiple attempts at rehab, his self-destructive behavior persisted. Friends and family watched helplessly as he spiraled out of control. On December 18, 1997, Farley was found dead in his Chicago apartment. The official cause of death was a drug overdose, but years of alcohol abuse had already taken a serious toll on his body. He was only 33 years old. News of his death sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, leaving fans to mourn the loss of a comedic genius whose life was tragically cut short. His story is a sobering reminder of how addiction can consume even the most talented individuals, leaving behind a legacy of unfulfilled potential and heartbreak. John Belushi, born on January 24, 1949 in Chicago, Illinois, another legendary comedian, also met a tragic end. As a founding member of Saturday Night Live's Not Ready for Primetime Players, Belushi became a cultural icon in the late 1970s. His boisterous physical comedy and magnetic personality, shown in films like Animal House, 1978, and The Blues Brothers, 1980, showcasing his immense talent and versatility. However, his hard-partying image became more than just a persona. It turned into a dangerous reality. The pressure to maintain his comedic brilliance drove Belushi to a life of excess, marked by heavy drinking and drug use. His behavior grew increasingly erratic, straining his personal relationships and professional commitments. Despite multiple interventions by friends and family, Belushi remained trapped in the cycle of addiction. On March 5, 1982, Belushi was found dead in his room at the Chateau Marmont in Hollywood. He had succumbed to a lethal combination of cocaine and heroin, known as a speedball, with chronic alcohol abuse further compromising his health. Like Farley, Belushi was just 33 years old when he passed. Their shared age at the time of their deaths underscores the devastating toll addiction can take, even on those who seem larger than life. Montgomery Clift, a 4-time Academy Award nominee, was one of the most revered actors of the 1950s, renowned for his powerful performances in films like A Place in the Sun, 1951, and From Here to Eternity, 1953. His talent and dedication to his craft earned him widespread acclaim and solidified his reputation as a serious actor. However, the brilliance of his on-screen work contrasted sharply with the turbulence of his personal life, which was overshadowed by a deep struggle with alcoholism. A pivotal moment in Cliff's life occurred in 1956 when a near-fatal car accident left him severely disfigured. The physical injuries, coupled with the emotional trauma and the pain of subsequent surgeries, had a profound impact on his mental health. To cope with his physical and emotional anguish, Cliff turned to alcohol, which soon became a crutch he could not abandon. As his drinking worsened, it began to affect his career. Directors found him increasingly challenging to work with, and his performances began to lose the precision and intensity that had once defined his craft. By the 1960s, his career was in decline, with fewer roles offered as his reputation and health deteriorated. Despite multiple attempts to achieve sobriety, Cliff struggled to break free from the grip of his addiction. On July 23, 1966, Cliff was found dead in his New York City apartment. The official cause of death was a heart attack, but it was widely understood that years of alcohol abuse had significantly contributed to his untimely passing. He was only 45 years old, leaving behind a legacy of remarkable performances that continue to resonate, while his personal struggles serve as a poignant reminder of the devastating toll of addiction. Dana Plato, a former child star born in 1964, won America's heart with her portrayal of Kimberly Drummond on the hit TV show Different Strokes, which ran from 1978 to 1986. The show's immense success catapulted her to fame, but it also exposed her to the dangers of early stardom. As she transitioned from child actor to adult, she struggled to find significant roles, leaving her with feelings of frustration and inadequacy. Dana Plato was best known for her role as Kimberly Drummond on the hit television sitcom Different Strokes, 1978-1986, which brought her widespread recognition during her teenage years. Although her career began with promise, including appearances in TV movies like Diary of a Teenage Hitchhiker, 1979, and High School USA, 1983, she struggled to transition into adult roles. Later in her career, she starred in several low-budget films, including Exorcist's a Coup, The Heretic, 1977, and the cult favorite video game-based film Night Trap, 1992. Despite her early success, Plato never regained the prominence she achieved during her Different Strokes years. To cope with her fading career and mounting personal challenges, Plato turned to alcohol and drugs. Her substance abuse led to erratic behavior, further hindering her ability to secure work in an industry where she had already been typecast. Her troubles were compounded by legal issues. She was arrested multiple times for crimes ranging from forgery to robbery. On May 8, 1999, Plato's life came to a tragic end when she was found dead in her RV, parked outside her fiancé's mother's home in Oklahoma. The official cause of death was an overdose of prescription medication, a combination of a muscle relaxant and a painkiller. However, her long-term struggle with alcohol played a significant role in her downward spiral. She was just 34 years old. Dana Plato's story is a poignant reminder of the dark side of fame. Her life exemplifies how the pressures of celebrity, particularly for child stars, can lead to self-destructive behavior. It stands as a cautionary tale about the perils of addiction and the challenges of transitioning from child star to adult actor, especially when compounded by substance abuse. River Phoenix, a prodigious talent of his generation, earned an Academy Award nomination at just 18 for his role in Running on Empty, 1988. His performances in films like Stand By Me, 1986, and My Own Private Idaho, 1991, showcased a depth and versatility that solidified him as one of Hollywood's most promising young actors. However, behind the applause and acclaim was a young man struggling with the immense pressures of fame and a growing dependence on alcohol and drugs. Phoenix's substance abuse began as a means to cope with the stress and expectations of his rapid rise to stardom. Despite his youth, he bore the heavy responsibility of being the primary breadwinner for his family, adding yet another layer of strain. As his dependency on alcohol and drugs grew, it began to affect his behavior on set, raising concerns among those close to him. On the night of October 31st, 1993, Phoenix collapsed outside the Viper Room, a nightclub in West Hollywood. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. The cause of death was acute multiple drug intoxication, including heroin and cocaine, though his long-term alcohol abuse also played a role in his tragic end. He was just 23 years old. Phoenix's untimely death sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, leaving fans and the film industry mourning the loss of a talent that had seemed boundless. His story is a stark reminder of the dangers of substance abuse, particularly for those in the public eye, where the pressures of fame can often mask deeper struggles. Margot Hemingway, born on February 16, 1954 in Portland, Oregon, was a fashion model and American actress. The granddaughter of the legendary writer Ernest Hemingway, Margot Hemingway seemed destined for greatness from the very beginning. In the 1970s, she rose to prominence as a supermodel, gracing the covers of prestigious fashion magazines and making history as the first model to land a $1 million contract for a cosmetics campaign. Her transition into acting, marked by her role in the 1976 film Lipstick, appeared to herald a new chapter in an already dazzling career. However, behind the glamour of camera flashes and red carpet events was a woman grappling with profound personal struggles. Margot battled alcoholism, a struggle that began in her early 20s and was worsened by the immense pressures of her high-profile career, coupled with a family history of substance abuse. While she projected the image of a confident and glamorous figure, she privately endured severe depression and low self-esteem, issues that alcohol initially seemed to alleviate, but ultimately exacerbated. As her career declined in the 1980s, her drinking intensified, leading to multiple attempts at rehabilitation. Despite these efforts, she was unable to find lasting recovery, and her personal life became increasingly tumultuous. On July 1, 1996, Margot Hemingway was found dead in her Santa Monica apartment. The cause of death was ruled as suicide by overdose, with her chronic alcohol abuse noted as a contributing factor. She was just 41 years old at the time of her passing, leaving behind a legacy of beauty and talent overshadowed by tragedy. Jim Morrison, born on December 8, 1943 in Florida, the enigmatic frontman of The Doors, epitomized the wild energy of late 1960s rock and roll. His poetic lyrics and electrifying stage presence established him as one of the most influential figures in music history. However, his meteoric rise to fame came with a dark side. Morrison struggled with alcoholism and drug addiction, a combination that both fueled his creativity and led to erratic behavior. His relationship with alcohol was particularly destructive, often resulting in public altercations and multiple arrests for indecency. These incidents tarnished his public image and strained his relationships, yet he appeared unable or unwilling to escape his addictions. On July 3, 1971, Morrison was found dead in the bathtub of his Paris apartment. The official cause of death was listed as heart failure, but no autopsy was conducted due to French legal policies, leaving the circumstances of his death shrouded in mystery. He was only 27 years old, joining the infamous 27 Club of musicians who died at that age. While speculation continues about the exact cause, it is widely acknowledged that his years of alcohol and drug abuse significantly contributed to his untimely death. Janis Joplin, born on January 19, 1943 in Texas, hailed as the queen of rock and roll, burst onto the music scene in the late 1960s with her soulful voice and electrifying stage presence. Her timeless hits, including Piece of My Heart and Me and Bobby McGee, solidified her status as a rock icon. However, her life was tragically cut short, largely due to her struggles with alcohol and drug addiction. From her early days in the San Francisco music scene, Joplin became synonymous with a hard-living lifestyle. Alcohol was a near-constant companion, with her often seen swigging from a bottle of Southern Comfort during performances. While her raw energy and emotionally charged performances were central to her appeal, They also concealed profound insecurities and emotional pain, which she sought to numb through substance use. Joplin's career was on a steep upward trajectory, with her second solo album, Pearl, poised to be her most successful work. Tragically, she would not live to witness its release. On October 4, 1970, she was found dead in her Hollywood hotel room. The cause of death was a heroin overdose, though her long-term alcohol abuse had also taken a severe toll on her health. She was just 27 years old, another tragic addition to the infamous 27 Club. Heath Ledger, born in Australia, was a powerhouse in Hollywood, celebrated for his groundbreaking performances in films like Brokeback Mountain, 2005, and The Dark Knight, 2008. His portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight remains one of the most iconic and haunting performances in cinematic history. Yet behind the critical acclaim and global fame was a man grappling with immense pressure. As his career soared, he turned to alcohol and prescription drugs to cope with the mounting demands. Ledger's friends and family observed a troubling shift in his behavior as he became increasingly reclusive, often isolating himself to immerse deeply in his roles. His dedication to his craft came at a significant cost, taking a heavy toll on both his physical and emotional well-being. Plagued by insomnia, he resorted to a dangerous combination of prescription medications to combat his sleeplessness and anxiety. On January 22, 2008, Ledger was found dead in his New York City apartment. The cause of death was ruled an accidental overdose involving a mix of prescription medications, including sleeping pills and anti-anxiety drugs. His history of alcohol abuse further exacerbated the effects of these substances. At just 28 years old, his untimely death shocked the world, leaving fans and colleagues mourning the loss of an actor whose potential seemed boundless. Ledger's passing serves as a stark reminder of the risks associated with mixing alcohol and prescription medications, a lethal combination that has claimed countless lives. His story highlights the urgent need for greater awareness of substance abuse and mental health challenges, particularly in high-pressure environments like Hollywood. These tragic accounts are more than individual stories. They collectively reveal the devastating impact of untreated addiction and mental health issues. While each of these brilliant individuals captivated audiences with their artistry and achieved the pinnacle of success in their fields, their personal struggles ultimately led to untimely deaths. Beyond the loss of talent, these tragedies left families shattered, fans heartbroken, and the entertainment industry bereft of some of its brightest stars. Hollywood's glamour often masks the grim reality of substance abuse and mental health struggles, which are either glamorized or overlooked when involving celebrities. However, Ledger's story, along with others, underscores that no amount of fame or fortune can shield someone from the destructive grip of addiction. These lives, though tragically cut short, leave behind a profound legacy, a call to action to prioritize mental health support and addiction treatment. They stand as powerful reminders of the human cost of neglecting these issues and the pressing need to address this ongoing crisis. Thank you for joining us as we delved into the untold struggles of Hollywood's most iconic figures. Their legacies serve as powerful reminders of the importance of mental health awareness and support. Let us know in the comments which story resonated with you the most. And if you found this video meaningful, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth looks into the lives of the stars who've left an indelible mark on history. Until next time, take care and remember to prioritize compassion and understanding in the face of life's challenges.